So the inaugural Caribbean Games will start later on Wednesday with the opening ceremony at the Gossia Municipal Stadium in Guadeloupe. The Games being held for under 23 athletes, and it will see competition in 7 disciplines: track and field, swimming, cycling, judo, futsal, 3-on-3 basketball, and also netball. Mariah Ramharak has been in the French overseas region since Tuesday and joins us to paint the picture of what's happening in the build-up to the event. Mariah, great to have you on the SportsMax zone from the other side.
Well, yeah, always a pleasure to be on the SportsMax zone. So, Lance and George, maybe I can start by telling you, I got here really late yesterday. You know, a lot of athletes on the flight, a lot of officials from different Olympic committees and whatnot. So when I got in, you know, not much to do, everybody just meeting and greeting. But this morning, it's when my work actually started. So I went down to the athletes' village. You know, the athletes were just coming back from training and they're very, very pumped. Pumped because, of course, these Caribbean Games will be considered very historical, first of its kind. And of course, it had many setbacks. Remember, in 2009, it was supposed to happen in Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, the unfortunate swine flu occurred and the games had to be called off. Then in 2021, we were supposed to have these Caribbean Games again. Then the COVID-19 pandemic caused it to be postponed. So there seems to be a sense of relief. Everybody just excited to get the games going.
Yeah, and what are your impressions of Guadeloupe? I know it's your first trip there.
Yes, so it's very quiet, I have to say. The trip from where I'm staying, the hotel, to the athletes' village, a total of around 45 minutes land. So things appear far, although it's a small place, but no traffic. That's something that definitely stood out for me. There was no traffic, none.
And the opening ceremony is on tonight. What is the anticipation for the opening ceremony?
All right, so I got the program. So it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. You know, the ceremony is seen as very, very symbolic. So there'll be the national anthems, 2 artistic presentations, then something that I'm looking forward to most, the parade of the teams. Then the athletes will have to take their Olympic oaths. They're scheduled to have a lot of speeches, and then the official opening of the games. And what I think is very interesting is there's going to be the arrival of the conch at the stadium. The conch shell, which is supposed to be similar to the Olympic torch, is what's going to be happening here.
Yeah, give us an idea, Mariah, of the caliber athletes that will be on show at these Caribbean Games.
All right, so remember, it's the under 23 athletes. So, you know, many of them would have had their trials at home. Like I was speaking to Jehu earlier today, and I know we have a clip on that. And he was talking to me about a couple of the athletes that have been in fit form, George. And when we play that clip, you'll hear about them. And he feels as if, you know, Trinidad and Tobago is going to walk away with some medals. A lot of other athletes, you know, Cuban athletes from Bermuda, and they haven't been established just yet. But these under 23 athletes, George and Lance, are looking to make a mark because after speaking to a couple of them, they felt as if the COVID-19 pandemic had kept them away from competition and sort of robbed them. So they are here, you know, to kickstart their career and hopefully, you know, reach the highest level.
All right, Mariah, hold on. Let's just go to that Jehu Gordon clip that you referenced. You asked him about his reacting to the fact of his appointment as manager of the team.
Yeah.
So this time I'm interviewing you in a different capacity. You're the manager of the TNT athletics team. How has that role been going for you?
That role brings a lot of perspective. I guess when you're an athlete, sometimes you blame the manager for not doing certain things, but now you're on the opposite end of the spectrum. You get to see things from a different view and a different side. The good thing about this is, one, I was an athlete before and I know what is required to make an athlete comfortable. So when I'm given an opportunity like this, it is always important for me to put the athletes first and always try to make them as comfortable as possible.
We're here for the first Caribbean Games in Guadeloupe, which has to be celebrated. We're making history, we're breaking barriers. Talk to me about the advantages for the youngsters for such a competition.
I think this is what the Caribbean needs. We see it all across the world. In Europe and Asia, they have their own under-23 age group championships. And this is an important part where we can try to bridge the gap for the juniors and the seniors. A lot of them feel as though sometimes they just get thrown into the heat after the junior category, and then it leaves them demotivated. In some instances, we have those that are motivated, but those are actually rare and few. So for this organizing committee to put on this age group championships here for our under-23s, I think it's a great asset for Caribbean track and field and for Caribbean sports.
Yeah, Jehu Gordon there speaking in a solid way and confident in his role as manager, and of course very happy for the opportunity to lead this contingent here. Did you catch a word with any of the athletes, especially those from your beloved TNT, Mariah, and to hear from them how they have been preparing, what they are poised to do? I know TNT represented in disciplines outside of track and field. What's the athletes' perspective ahead of the opening ceremony and start of these games?
Right, so because it was day one, George, it was a bit difficult to catch the athletes. Basically, when I went up to Jehu, they had now come back from training very, very exhausted, and, they just wanted to grab a bite, get something to drink. However, as soon as I come off the SportsMax zone, I'm going to head to the official opening ceremony. So there, I hope to talk to a lot of the athletes, a lot of the officials. The CANOF president, who is also Trinidadian, Brian Lewis, will be there, among many other officials. So when I join you tomorrow, I have a more comprehensive report.
All right, keep at it. Good hearing from you, good seeing you, and we look forward to your dispatch on Thursday.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah, Lance, so here we are, the Caribbean Games. You know how they say in the NFL, false start, number 45 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down. They've had a few false starts.
Yes.
They're here up and running, opening ceremony not too long from now. And for the under-23 athletes, it's a great thing.
Yeah, and good to see Jehu Gordon in a managerial role. He's not officially announced his retirement from track and field. He's just 30 years old. We remember him winning the 2013 gold medal at the World Championship in Moscow, I think it was.
Yes, it was.
But he made some very important points there, because athletes are, when they go to events like major games, they themselves are tense. They are caught up in focusing on what they have to do, and if things around them aren't comfortable and satisfactory for them, it can impact negatively on their performances. So he recognizes that as the manager, he now has to play a role that he wanted to see his managers play when he was competing. But very anxious to see this going off, because as Mariah mentioned, it should have happened 12 years ago or 13 years ago, and it didn't. And very anxious to see what will be happening. Good to see netball on. Some of the teams are getting ready for, Barbados for the Commonwealth Games and so on. So let's see how well they do and how efficiently the meet will be run, because it's the first for them. Guadeloupe having the job here of hosting so many different countries competing. And Mariah will keep us in touch with what's happening.
It's funny you said to see how the meet will go. It's an event. It's not a track meet. It's what we were used to. And a multi-sports event. Yeah, you spoke about the netball. I want to see the 3-on-3 basketball and the futsal, because I think those two disciplines, more than the others, track and field will always be around. But futsal and 3-on-3 basketball, that's where the future is. That's where the new participants in sport are likely to come from. And I'm keen to see how they organize those two games, those two disciplines especially.
Yeah, well, there were doubts about whether Usain Bolt would have competed at the 2014 Commonwealth Games. As it turned out, he agreed to make a relay appearance in the Scottish city of Glasgow. But when he got there, a story published in the Times newspaper accused him of calling the games a bit shit and saying the Olympics were better. Now, Bolt denied the story and proceeded to watch Jamaica play netball, sign autographs and shout awesome when asked by reporters how the event felt as far as he was concerned. And he then closed it in grand style. In today's Commonwealth Games build-up feature, we look at some of the most memorable moments of Glasgow 2014.
Now gives me the greatest pleasure to declare the 20th Commonwealth Games open.
It is lane 4, Madison Elliott. Madison Elliott, 105.32, the world record time.
A Games record for Thornhill and Scott.
Scotland will win it. Another gold medal. It's taken out by Ross Murdoch.
Nicola Adams, the inaugural women's boxing champion.
He's got it. Got the first ever Commonwealth medal for Kiribati, and it's gold. Chandler Crowe, the Olympic champ, the world champ, and again he wins the Commonwealth Games gold medal. 7 medals for Chandler Crowe. History is equal.
Charlie Flynn boxing at home with the crowd behind him. Wonderful performance from Flynn.
Ciosi running home, the man from the Solomon Islands. He's just 17 years old. He's given 100%, I'm sure.
Piloted by Craig McLeod. And that gold medal goes to Fatty.
What a fantastic finish this is. A fantastic win for Angie Ballard. A famous victory here. Nigel Amos is the Commonwealth champion.
Kimberly Rennicks was superb. Louise Rennicks gets the gold medal. Second gold for the Rennicks sisters.
Usain Bolt, the superstar of world athletics, has carried Jamaica home.
Yeah, King Usain apparently enjoying himself in the end.
Yeah, I remember, Lance, like it was yesterday. That part of the script that you didn't struggle with it, but you were wondering about it, yeah? When he described the conditions in Glasgow as a bit shit, yeah? I remember the day that story broke, I was working at Nationwide. I was news editor at the time. And Kalila Enriquez, who used to work here at SportsMax scene, she was presenting the morning news. So when the story came to me from the reporter, so I edited in that quote because I thought that was the quote, yeah? Well, that was the quote.
Yeah.
So I left it in. So the theme for the news, so I'm listening, yeah? So I noticed that the theme was running long, but I wasn't in my office. So I ran back to hear my phone ringing. So I picked it up. So the technical operator was saying, George, Kalila says something is left in the script. She says that we should delete it. And I'm saying, no, that is the thing, leave it. And she was saying, no, are you sure? I'm saying, read the thing as is. Are you sure I can read it on radio? Read the thing as is. And she said, okay. So when she read it, Lance, the phone lines lit up. People were calling from outside. What did I hear on the radio? And I was, explaining that in context. So people understood eventually, but it was very awkward to report that Bolt said Glasgow was a bit shit.
Yeah. Well, he denied saying it, and I constantly feel that was some damage control there.
Yeah. But there were good games though, Glasgow, and the thing about the Commonwealth Games is, look, let me tell you this. I'm not going to say mini Olympics because the Olympics are unique, yeah, but it opens up an avenue for so many other athletes to attach glory to their name.
Yes.
That's why I've always been a fan, even as a casual sports fan before now. I've always been a fan of the Commonwealth Games. I've always had a lot of time for it. I've always had a lot of time for the Aussie swimmers, especially. You know my relationship with the Brits already. I don't have to tell you that. But I especially love the Aussies.
You mean your non-relationship? But go ahead, yeah.
Well, it's still a relationship, yeah? The netball especially, because the netball, I mean, that's the netball at the highest level, the Commonwealth Games.
Oh, yeah, it is, yeah.
And it's really all around a fantastic event, and I know that people falling out of love with the monarchy and they want to see the Commonwealth disbanded and so forth. I think the Commonwealth Games is one of the things that glues this Commonwealth of Nations together, and I don't want it to go anywhere. I want it to remain on the calendar.
Yeah, I think since the resurgence of Jamaica, especially in the sprinting in global track and field, there had been several Commonwealth Games where a lot of the elite athletes were hesitant about going to the Commonwealth Games. I remember Merle Notted never really went to many. I think she went to one in New Zealand and then reported that she was happy she had gone because she had missed a few before that. 2006, I remember Veronica Campbell and Asafa Powell going there and winning as well. But there were some Commonwealth Games and a lot of the elite athletes didn't compete or didn't want to compete. Yeah. Veronica was actually second in 2006 in Melbourne. Sharon Simpson was the gold medal winner there. So that was 1 year, one Commonwealth Games where a lot of the top athletes went, and because it was Australia and their summer is early in the year, it was held in like March, April, which would be a lot of those athletes' indoor season, but they competed there. And we're getting the feeling that for 2022 in Birmingham, George, a lot of the elite athletes will be there, so this could be one of the best Commonwealth Games ever.
Last thing I'll say in the time that I'm stealing, look, the Commonwealth Games are of particular importance now, because if you stick to track and field alone, some outstanding athletes will not win a medal at the Olympics or the World Championships. You can be a sub-9.9 sprinter as a man, and you're struggling to get anywhere near the podium. So where can you go if you're from the right nation to get a shot at a genuine title? The Commonwealth Games is the place to be, so it has taken on a special significance, I think, because of that fact.
Yeah. Break time. Back in a moment with more on The Zone.
Thank you for watching SportsMax on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and to click the notification bell to stay informed.